Hey, what's going on, conscious leader? Welcome to Heaven on Earth, the weekly forecast here on YouTube. This is the 6th until the 13th of October, where we dive deep into the astrology. This is where we connect the heavens to this earth and to your and my heart for a improvement in your spirituality, your business, your health, your love, and your happiness. So if you've been feeling this week, then you know that it was a pretty tough one, especially by the end of this week. We've been challenged with Mars coming into Libra. This is focusing on others and just fighting for justice, but not just for yourself. And Mars doesn't like that. Mars just wants to focus on itself. And just to make sure that you understand, every planet that I talk about is alive within you. So when I talk generally, I'm talking for you. So that Mars doesn't like that Mars within us, that desire that really wants to fight for itself and wants to just do. Now it just has to focus on others. So there's that frustration going on. We had Mercury coming into Scorpio, and that in and of itself is intense. This is intense conversations. This is pushery. This might be, jealousy rising to the surface. This is testing our truth. This is understanding the psychological meanings or the reasoning of other people. And so I know what that other person is up to. So we kind of have that energy. And so if you combine that all with everything is focused on others. Right, we've been going through when we went through Leo, this was the pure self, the ego, but the ego then had to purify itself in Virgo, then came into Libra to give itself to others and understand himself or herself, yourself in others. That's what's going on right now with this Libra energy. And right off the bat, Sun square Saturn. This means on Monday that we're going to have to do some serious conversations here. This is being serious in relationships. This is a serious conversation. This is a higher power just putting a hold on our balance, on our relationships. This is us finding ourselves off balance. And this is continuing a little bit the energy of previous week. And this is necessary to rise the frustrations. I think what's going on is that we're building up towards the full moon, and that full moon is going to show the ultimate you versus me. And since we're the emotions are rising, the emotions are building up, and we're having conversations with other people, and everything is rising to the surface. And this is a good thing. This is obviously not easy and not fun, right? We were just being confronted with others and just constantly having to get into these conversations. And, with Mercury and Scorpio, it's just I feel this, I feel frustrated, I feel angry, I feel, it could be too oh my God, actually, I have these emotions towards you, and this is how we can heal this. Scorpio doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It's just really freaking intense. And especially on Monday when we have Moon in Aquarius trining the Sun, and then Mars energy is just there's a lot of people. This is where we in business would start a group process. If you for this week, right, if you're into a business and you want to establish some change in your company, well, I would say this is the week. We will have Venus coming into Scorpio on Tuesday. And so we would start that process on Monday to really say, okay, what is going on here? Who does not feel comfortable? Or, the person expressing him or herself because of something a boss said to you. And so we're having really a tension here between relationships and business, seriousness. So our relationships are being tested big time. This is where we have to become, what is a serious relationship for you? How can you be serious in your relationship? What is integrity? What are your values? You know, how can you structure this into something real? I think we have to deal with some karmic from the past, some karmic happenings in our relationships too, that are putting a hold. And so all of that is rising to the surface, especially with that Scorpio energy happening. And Venus is coming into Scorpio, so now this is bringing intensity to your relationships. If you're going to feel like your relationship is going into the underworld, is going into intensity, into a transformation, that's what's happening. Especially on Monday when there's so many people, you're meeting so many people, so much relationships, so many people in your environment. It's like, whoa, where all these people come from? And then on Tuesday, it's like, okay, let's see. Now we've met so many people. We went out there, we went socializing. And so now, who in here is real? Who in here is truthful? Let's expose some truths here, because that's what Scorpio does, right? It's like Scorpio is the deepest of the deep. And so with Mercury there, like if we're all secretive, and all these relationships, they're secretive. Might be even like secret relationships going on. But so what's good is that then the healing process begins. And that's why I say on Monday, really just let everything rise to the surface if you're able to that. This is about, you know, challenging the safety of the person. This obviously all has to do with trust and about open communication, so that everybody's involved, and so that we can all take our responsibility. And then I think we can get somewhere, because on Tuesday when the moon hits Pisces, if we haven't begun the group process yet, and I'm not only talking about group process, but I'm also talking about the person you want to be honest with, the person you've had some problems with. Let's keep it real. Like the person you've been fighting with, the person you've been mad with, the person you've been distrusting, and you put it out in the open. Now, when the moon hits Pisces, this is the capacity to be, you know, emotional, especially with Mercury and Venus in Scorpio. And then the Sun in Libra at that 15th degree, right in the middle between Capricorn and Cancer, right in between my emotions and business. The exact moment where you balance things out. This is the exact moment where it's like, boom, I'm really down into Libra. I'm really down. The sun is really going down now. Well, 15 days ago with that equinox, you know, we still had like, you know, summer, fall. Where are we? You know, just looking back. But now this is really just like, okay, 15 degree is wrap it up. We're really getting down into the underworld. So that's what we can feel right now. It's like it's transformation. It's the hero's journey for our relationships. Okay, it's intense. But you know, from Tuesday on, that moon in Pisces, and on Wednesday, moon hits Neptune, and now we have Mercury in Scorpio. Truth, really wanting to merge with the other person, really getting intense, and you have the capacity to get super real, to get super deep. Excuse me. Sneezed, so it's true. So the capacity to communicate from a deep honesty, trining over to Neptune. So this is compassionate communication with a moon in Pisces. So there's a need for compassion. There's a need to surrender to source, to open the heart to source. And this is really good. As we're taking this process all the way towards that full moon, this is where we're going to be able to release fully. So we have these, you know, pressure releases among the week, where we're going to have some feedback in the mirror. Just really pay attention to everybody around you, to what's happening within, and keep a notebook if you want, if you will. It's going to help you to release. It's going to be a powerful release where you ponder upon, you know, who are my relationships and what does that say about me? And so we have also the North Node. The nodes are in the mix. So this is where we are dealing with purpose. This is where we're dealing with karmic relationships, karma, rising to the surface of the past. Saturn is in the mix, so we have some seriousness. We are really able to ground this. Neptune is retrograding, so it's going towards Saturn. So this is spiritual duty. This is your spiritual duty to communicate honestly, compassionately to those relationships you have a problem with, or just where you are really want to go dive deeper into a relationship, into the truth, into making it I would say more pure, more honest, more firm, and just like challenging it. Not challenging it because, you want to make it more difficult, but, just really going to the core of a relationship, of going to the core. This is also deep sex. Guess what? On Monday, I would even say orgy, man, like group sex. If you're up to that, go and do it, because that's the moon in Aquarius, sun in Libra, Mercury and Venus about to get into Scorpio. Group sex. I'm telling you, right off the bat. This is the perfect timing for an orgy if you want. But it doesn't necessarily has to be at a physical sexual level. It can be really, that's why I say group process, as in open honesty. And if you have a lot of safety with your relationship, by being open, vulnerable, you can go so freaking deep. And it's the whole week from Tuesday on all the way up to right before the moon goes into Aries on Saturday. There's that healing energy. This is your opportunity offered by the universe to heal, to communicate softly, emotionally, to expose your emotions, to be vulnerable. This is a timing to be brave, courageous, honest, or you can make it the other way around. You can make it stingy, and when it's going to be stingy, it will be stingy. Trust me, with so much Scorpio energy coming, this is betrayal. There's betrayal happening. This could even be, since we have in business, we have that Capricorn and Libra energy. This is too betrayal and people stealing money. This is people just, if you want that, it's gonna happen. But if you're smart, you're using this energy to whatever you sense deep down inside that you've always known, you get it out and you vulnerably communicate it to the person. It will come out, and you have that capacity to heal or to prevent it from happening and you getting down into the abyss, if you will. And then that moon comes into Aries, and now if we've done the healing, we can really put some boundaries here. So really use that energy from Tuesday all the way up to Saturday in the morning to get into the conversation with the other person, to be honest, to be vulnerable, to heal, to cry. There's going to be a lot of tears happening with so much emotional energy. And to surrender to source, to surrender to compassion, this is the bridge. This is a bridge building week. And then on Saturday, it's your duty to be so truthful and so honest that you establish these boundaries, that you start to say, okay, this is where the limit is. This is where my values are, and this is where yours are. And we've been talking about this for a whole week. Now let's put this to action. This is where you initiate. This is where you take the lead. This is where you get things done, right? And then that full moon hits on Sunday evening, 11:06 p.m. Antwerp time. So this is a full release. This is the ultimate release, where if you've done the work this week, you've had those conversations, you put the boundaries. This is where you let go of all the shit that happened during the week, from the new moon on 2 weeks ago. and you just work with it. You write it down and you just fully surrender it to source. So that's it. That's it. What are your questions around this? Because I'm sure there's a lot of questions rising to me. You know, if you want to learn more to, you know, what to do with the full moon, what to do with the new moon, what's going on with you as a Gemini, with you as a Scorpio, you can join my private Facebook group where we're having interaction and, you know, all your questions answered in a live Q&A. Get a blueprint for your full moon, new moon ritual, and as well, there's a full week forecast, just as here, but then specifically for your sun sign, for your personal zodiac. So it's your weekly horoscope if you want, but then more specific. So I'll put the link down below. It's only for $19.99 a month. Come on, you know, just by listening to these advices and putting them to action, you completely will gain and benefit from it. So I can promise you that. Getting all the feedback. So much love, the Leo Mystic. Peace.